Cheltenham Festival days 1, 2, and 3 in the bag. But once more, we go again with the big one, with Friday, with day 4 of the 2023 Cheltenham Festival. And David Mullins, what a day's racing this could be. They kick off at 1:30 and trying to emulate the great material you personally have given us for the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Once again, your jockey's eye perspective of what ideally, if you were given the right of veto, you'd choose to ride in all 7 races on Gold Cup Day. They tip away at 1:30 in the Triumph Hurdle, where it might very well be advantage Willie Mullins, or would it? Who'd be your selection as a mount?
For the Triumph, it's well, the whole of Friday really looks tough. I'm sure Paul Townend has plenty of head scratching to do as well between now and Wednesday morning for declarations. But Blood Destiny, it's been well said that he's going to prefer softer ground, and with the rain that we're looking like getting, he's probably the pick on the ground. But if it was around Leopardstown, which it's not, if it was on that ground, I think Lossiemouth would have beaten Blood Destiny. So we're going on speculation. I think she's the one with the form. She has been running in the grade 1s. So for me, it's Lossiemouth. But the ground is going to be a concern, and that will be a major factor in whichever one Paul Townend decides to ride. So, but it is Lossiemouth on ability.
Lossiemouth on ability for David Mullins. On ability, this time 12 months ago, if only we knew then what we know now, the 210, the county hurdle, was about to serve up a horse called State Man, who going into this year's Cheltenham Festival has only Constitution Hill ahead of him in the betting for the champion hurdle. Is there something as good potentially lurking in this year's county hurdle? And if there is, what is it? And who do you like to be riding? Because this has thrown up some very good horses down the years. What would David Mullins ride in this year's renewal?
If we knew, Tom, I think everybody knew. Everybody was on State Man last year in the county hurdle. I'm 99% sure there's not another State Man in it this year. I'd like to be on Winter Fog. He's a horse I know pretty well. I actually bought him for Paul Byrne privately, and things just didn't go to plan for him last year. A few of Emmett's horses were in and out, and he had a very tough first run for Emmett last year over 3 mile. It took a lot out of him, and I'd say that's why he's showing the improvement this year after the break. I hope to take £7 again off him with Kieran Callaghan, who rode him in Leopardstown at Christmas. I think he's well worth a £7 claim. And he's going to need it. He has a lot of weight, but for me, I think this is the race he needs to be running in, yeah.
We move swiftly on after Lossiemouth, after Winter Fog. The longest of the novice hurdles is, of course, the Albert Bartlett 250 Friday afternoon. David Mullins' selection as a mount in this year's renewal.
It's very competitive again. Even in the betting, we see it. I think it's 7-2, 3 of them. So it's not a race for me where you want to be on the favourite. I think it's on a horse that you need to be dropped out, ridden like a bit of a 16-1 shot. I think that's the price he is. Shanbally kid. He was a bit keen in Navan the last day and still won well, and the form has been well frank since as well. So for me, I think the way the race is going to plan out, I think him being dropped in, 2 less hurdles, or only 2 hurdles in the last 6 furlongs, he's going to need that because his jumping does leave a bit to be desired. And I think this is probably one of the biggest price horses of the week. Himself and Queen's Gamble maybe are the 2 each way big bets for me.
Shanbally kid in the Albert Bartlett. Moving swiftly on, the big race, not just of Friday, but for many people of the entire meeting, is the Cheltenham Gold Cup, 3:30 Friday afternoon. It's a game of ifs and buts and maybes, of hype, of speculation. Hardcore viewers of our 20-something strong episode sequence of Festival Focus will know that a devout and very supportive follower of Galopin des Champs is the Grand National winning rider, David Mullins. Some people will question and say potentially soft ground, potential to be found out and stamina wanting over a hard run 3 mile, 2 and a bit miles around Cheltenham on the most demanding of tracks. Is there anything out there now at this stage, given what you've seen, what you know, what you anticipate, would make you depart, change your mind, and think to yourself, is there a bit of value at a bigger price? Would you like your agent to be picking up the phone and saying, I picked up the spare on something with cast iron stamina, a Statler, one of these kind of characters, last year's winner of Plutar, conflated if he turns up there. Who will it be for the Gold Cup? Are you sticking? You've been such a fervent supporter of Galopin Des Champs. Is that still the case?
Galopin Des Champs. I think it's a one-horse race. I think he has to be the one you ride. You couldn't think of any other horse to ride. Only Galopin Des Champs. He's been faultless for me. I can't pick a hole in him at all over fences. A Plutard is possibly a danger, but he's ran once since the Gold Cup last year. He pulled up. It was a very poor showing. That was in Haydock, and that was November. So we haven't seen him in a long time. So he has the ability to give Galopin Des Champs a scare, but I think even a Plutard's win last year, I don't think that performance is going to be good enough still to beat Galopin Des Champs this year.
It's intriguing. It's a game of opinions, and few have a stronger or a better sourced opinion than David Mullins, who says it's a one-horse race for Galopin Des Champs. Brilliant stuff. I know you wouldn't be eligible for this as a professional, but given the whip hand, looking down the 6-day forfeit stage and what's likely to line up in the Hunters Chase, the St James's Place Hunter Chase at 4:10, who would be your pick there? Race 5 on the card on Friday.
Well, Vaucelet is his favourite. I think Barry O'Neill is going to ride this horse. I'm fairly sure he is. He's one of the greatest amateurs of all time, and hopefully he can break his Cheltenham hoodoo with a winner here. I think he's well overdue with Cheltenham winner. He's had a lot of seconds, and he was nailed on the line last year. It's not a race I'd have much of a say. I don't know the point-to-point form too well, but I just think Barry O'Neill, if not throwing enough crap at the wall to stick, but I think it's time he has his win this year.
We talked a lot in the run-up to this race, the 450, the Mares' Chase, about a number of the leading protagonists. Now that it boils down to the festival itself, once again, given the right of veto, which of these talented mares over the fences would you like to ride at 450 on Friday, and why?
Impervious. I think she's a lot more straightforward. And Journey with Me won a Grade 3 in Naas on Sunday. He's ranked the form. He's a very good horse, and she beat him. I think she's just so much more simpler than Allegory de Vassi. Allegory de Vassi could even possibly be a better mare. I'm not sure, but I think she's going to need another season running over fences. She's a bit exuberant. Her jumping, it nearly caught her out in Thurles the last day, and I'd just be worried about Cheltenham. It's going to be more competitive, and I think Impervious kind of ticks the boxes as in professionalism, really.
Yeah, I like that form line that you highlight on Sunday. Journey with Me beating Limerick Lace, who'd gone away from them the day before and looked a big threat on Sunday, but Journey with Me did it nicely, and a compliment to Impervious, who you like. Rounding things off, another race that you as a pro wouldn't be able to participate in, but nonetheless, the Martin Pipe, which, if memory serves me rightly, was once upon a time won by your mate Emmett Mullins. And what's he ever gone on to do, eh? The Martin Pipe Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle, 5:30 on the Friday. What takes your eye there as a potential mount?
Well, we've seen it, as you said, with Emmett and Mikey Fogarty. Luke Dempsey won it on. That's Sir de Champs, Don Polly, Kalulta Galopin Des Champs has won it as well. They were Gold Cup horses, you know. I don't think Spanish Harlem is that sort of a horse for Willie, which he has in it this year. I like Imagine. I know Spanish Harlem wasn't too far behind him in going, but I just think I like the way he races. I'd imagine. I don't know if Jordan Gainford can actually still ride in this. I'm not sure about that, but it is form with I know the way you're thinking. I think that's very good form. I am a big fan of that horse, Gavin Cromwell and JP's. So Imagine for me, I think he's got an attractive mark, and yeah, I think Gordon Elliott's going to have he has a good record in this race. It's the one that came down to beat Willie in the championship there a few years ago. I think he always puts a good horse in for this race, and I think this is his one this year.
Well, folks, over the last, 4 or 5 months, spanning more than 20 episodes, thus far, it's been nothing but a lot of fun and a great pleasure to bring you Festival Focus. Once Cheltenham's done and dusted, David and I will be turning our attentions to Aintree, and particularly the Grand National, see if we can unearth a few gems for that. But thanks to David Mullins, that is 28 of 28 races, 4 days, 7 races a day, all with selections and your cards marked. I will leave it with one closing thought. I'm pretty certain that given the strength of his remarks with regard to the Albert Bartlett and Shanbally Kid or the Gold Cup and Galopin des Champs, if David Mullins, you were turning up once again with your equipment, your boots, your stick, your helmet, your body protector at Cheltenham on Friday, if you could only ride one horse on the day, and therefore if those who are watching this only had £1 in their pocket, who should it be on?
Galopin des Champs, but you won't get much back for £1, I'm afraid. Maybe double it up for the week. It's probably Constitution Hill if that's the one I want. If that's the one for the week, I think that's the biggest certainty. But Galopin des Champs for the Friday.
David Mullins, thank you very much as always, folks. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Enjoy Cheltenham.